and the Bronx are fueled. It's time for the Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of Stubborn Monkey and a wizard called Gandalf, featuring the sounds of the Glass-O-Eight Symphony Orchestra and the musical stylings of Gordon, the Music Maestro. Let's get ready to Loco!
Hello and welcome
Big
everyone.
hello! It's so great to see you. I hope I find you well. We've got Not So Salty Sea Dog, Simon Train's Mother Railway Showcase, Cameron Patterson, Taft's End, Jennifer Horton, Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath, Jerry BVR Wamgot. Trains with Nick says, I'm happy to be here finally for my first ever live stream.
Welcome!
Hello and welcome. It's so great to have you along. We've got Valleys 56XX, Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath, Flymer Chairman 1, Mousehole Rail, Michael Putnam Junction, Smallwood Junction, Hot Dog Pilot 63. Where's my pacer? James Petts says Monday Club Joys. Harry Sedgwick, Rick Morley, Warbler Productions, Andrew McLeod, The Engine Shed, Sarah Davis says, hi all, had a mare of a time trying to get online. That sounds like the time we normally have to try and get set up and get these things to working. Robert Steers, MD, big hello to you. So great to see you. And that does remind you, we have a sponsor for the Monday Club. The Monday Club comes in association with Roca Prototype Models, where detail, accuracy and value for money go hand in hand. With their debut model of SafePack auto racks wowing model railroaders alike, now is your chance to order these in road names and configurations to accurately reproduce auto rack workings from 1974 to the present day on your model railroad. Order today from rocamodels.com and see the full range for yourself. So we've got lots and lots of people and some new names as well. And I met a lot of people at the BRM show at Doncaster this last weekend gone. I was there with Iron Horse Railways and it was so great to meet so many of you guys. Now, we were a last-minute replacement when one of the layouts there decided at the very last minute that they weren't going to come.
Was it about not wanting to go, or was it that they suddenly couldn't?
No, they didn't want to go because they didn't want to be in the position upstairs. I think they wanted to be in the maid hall. But
I heard that being upstairs was actually a better position.
Oh, yes, all the cool kids were upstairs.
And you.
Yeah. Aww. So we were there with Mineth Tatus, if you remember the Welsh-themed 009 layout, and also had the Four Seasons layout, which you'll see tonight when you watch on catch-up from 9, Hornby and Model World.
Yeah.
It's really great, actually, to be able to show that off and running it quite extensively. It's really... in this guise, it's not run anything more than a little while for filming. So we've got James Hardy who says, what's running tonight, Jen? Well,
not me.
One of the... let's just see if we can bring up the side camera. Be ready on... There we go. So, Midland Compound number 1000 in Midland Railway Maroon is going round on the van train. And at some point, we're going to see one of the new acquisitions from the Doncaster show. There she is. We've got a Gronk. Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Not a cult. B2000 RO Toys channel. It was really great to see you as well. It says, hi Jenny and Zoe. Very nice to have seen the model railway layouts. I picked up some Hornby Thomas rolling stock. Yes, you told me about the circus wagons and a Bachmann 009 Rusty. I must admit, I was looking at the Rusty models. I thought they make a very, very nice basis for actually doing some sort of industrial narrow gauge locomotives. And it'd be nice to see if Bachmann do introduce a non-Thomas the Tank Engine version at some point. That would be really, really nice. Robin Silver, great to see you in. Francis Wadsworth, Skipsy Trains, good to meet you as well, and Mrs. Skipsy Trains. You made the most of the carvery. To be honest, Iron Horse Railways and I kind of wish we'd done the carvery maybe on the Saturday and not eaten at the hotel, because the food was rather salty.
Grunk it up, grunk it up.
Yes, you'll be seeing in a forthcoming video, the Cupboard Monkey will be showing.
My hands don't work properly.
Did that go all the way downstairs?
No. Oh my god, my hands don't work very well.
So,
unfortunately, I just dropped my grunk.
Can you camera me?
What happened?
The camera too. Camera.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've got a new routine for when cameras stop working. Let's see now. And is it gonna come on? Yes. Yes. Contact. We're in. So, Iron Horse Railway says, we had a little bit of lasagna with our salt. Oh, and we were so hungry. J94, great to see you. Simon Trains Mother Railway Showcase says, was great to have met you, Jennifer Kirk, and Iron Horse Railways at Doncaster, even now, though I missed the video announcement.
What video announcement?
The one that we put up.
Oh, right, I thought there was someone announcing something on a video.
The last minute announcement. But yeah, I've seen your video with... Meneth Tatters in the thumbnail and just peeking in as the final layout in that part 1 video. So that was an enjoyable watch. Bluegrass Rail Fans has thought about going to a train show this past weekend in Indianapolis, but the total cost to just get to the door would have been about $65 to $70, which is $30 gas, $10 bridge toll, $5 to $8 to park, plus $12 to enter. And
that leads us quite nicely into our topic for tonight. Are exhibitions still worth going to?
Absolutely. Though Trains with Nick, I'll just say pizza was good. We thought about getting the pizza, but we didn't. So the pizza was good on the Saturday, though the drink was a bit steep at $3.20 for a bottle of Pepsi Max. And that's the small... Yeah. Iron Horse Railway found that out. He went, just give me a bottle of drink. They went, yes, that'll be £3.20. And he went, it's okay, I'll be thirsty. Apparently the D11 is pushing... Oh, he keeps doing this. There's something wrong with one of the couplings, and I can't quite narrow it down. What have you lost now?
I haven't lost anything. I'm just checking to make sure I haven't.
She hasn't lost anything. She's just currently scrutinising the carpet very closely with a torch.
To make sure that I haven't lost anything.
Jennifer Horton also got the pizzas. Stephen Simmons says, in a future video, Zoe will be fixing a broken gronk. She will, actually. So I'm going to wait for that coach to come round.
Fixer of a broken gronk.
Stop. Ian O'Brien says, hello all, tickle that button. Absolutely, do please tickle that like button and share the stream as well on social media. And that will make the clown horn of Ultimate do its thing. But yes, share us to social media. Let people know that we are on. And if you haven't already done so, then do please consider subscribing to the channel. Now I'm just going to grab that coach because that is... No, give it to me.
That would have been even funnier if we could have seen you do it. If you...
Yeah, well.
£6.9 for a glass of wine? Good
grief.
What? Gan down the quote and buy one yourself.
The thing was, there's the door into the bar downstairs behind the bar was unlocked. And it was theoretically possible to go in and just grab yourself a big bottle of Bollinger from the fridge.
Oh my goodness.
Because I was shown this. And he went, hey, there's an awful lot of scope for misuse here. And he took out like a 200 quid bottle of champagne and went, somebody could just help themselves to this. But no, he did then put it back in the thing and then we shut the door on the way out. But it was just because there was a power socket in there and they were charging something. A.D. Pullen says, Sonic Great Central Railway A5 are due in tomorrow at Rails of Sheffield. Really looking forward to those. One thing that I will say to you is that it's a Next 18 decoder and they're getting very hard to get at the moment. So what I will say is, I did check with DCC Concepts and they said they've got low stock. So there's only, and I know it sounds like a lot, but only 160 left in stock.
That's not much at all.
That is like basically a week's worth of supplying their. In fact, probably not even that. One big order from a retailer will wipe that out. So what I will say to you is, get your order in for decoders, and it's well worth getting a few extras in just in case. And I've done just that. So I've got a couple of Next 18s and an extra 8. But absolutely.
So actually, there's only 158 left.
No, that was after I bought it. B. Mozza says, I only got to look around before opening as I never got away from the stand. Oh my word. It was lovely to meet you there as well. And I think Warbler Productions did spot the TARDISes. So yay, well done. Go to the top of the class. And we've got... So Wamgok says, I've ordered the sound version. Ooh, interesting. Warbler Productions. I did see. It's just the chat is coming in really, really quickly. Spongate Junction says, I'm looking forward to Ali Pali in March, providing there are no train strikes. The Aylesmead Project says, is chat working properly? I don't see my chats. Well, whoa, Zoe, on the ball.
I'm here.
You need,
give me a second, will you, please? I am trying to do a few other things at the same time in the background.
So there we go. It is annoying that
It is annoying because you don't tell me when you're going to switch things.
Eric Christiansen says, greeting modelers from Grand Rapids in Michigan. So MI is Michigan, isn't it? Yeah. Or is it Missouri? Yeah, it's Missouri. So there's probably that's like the equivalent here in the UK, because it's quite vast in America, of saying, oh yes, you're in south of France. Oh no, you're not. You're in Scotland. And it's like, what? That's a long way. We've got the camera fixed in a program. We've got a little hot fix that we're trying out. Ian Parker says, S Club 7 are back together on tour soon. Name a loco after them. What, rubbish? Okay, well we'll find one and call it rubbish. Anaya Oriti is talking about TT review. Lots of people do it. Actually, Charlie Bishop. That's a really great, honest review to watch about the TT range. He had a few problems actually. J. Paul Anderson says no. Missouri is MO, so MI is
Michigan. Think Detroit.
Ah, so it is Michigan then. Right, I don't know these things. I don't live there.
There's no party like an S Club party. I can think of a few things that are a bit like an S Club party. Getting stuck in traffic, being caught in one of those portaloos where the door won't open.
B2000RO Toys Chance asking, said, I was wondering, how is the Four Seasons layout wired up? Does it get tangled up? No, because there's not wires going up to the actual platter.
It's actually really smart.
It's a split ring. So what happens is it picks up power from a ring. One side is through the bearing, the other side is through a pin that just goes onto a metal plate. It's very clever, but it works really, really well.
I've told you before, you shouldn't be putting rings in bears.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Paul Murphy says, I gave a like. Boom! Skipsy Train says, how about the London Underground S Stock 7? MI is Michigan. So that is now confirmed. I don't know, I don't live there.
How can you not know these things?
Simon Trains Model Railway showcases, speaking of the letter S, there was an S-scale layout at Doncaster, which is a gauge I haven't heard of before.
S-scale?
S-scale is one which is not very common in the UK. It's a bit of a weird little scale. From what I remember, it's between 00 and O gauge. So it's like bigger than 00, but not quite O gauge. But it's very, very popular in the US. Well, much more popular. I think it's still a niche scale in the US, but it's something that is out there.
I'm sorry, but the best scale is still N.
No.
It's small and it's cute and everything looks so good.
Beverage of choice, which people did notice actually at the show, is Diet Coke.
like this.
Yeah.
Even slab-sided trains look great in this scale because they're so small and cute.
Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says the name of the layout is Blakey Rig. That explains so much, because when Iron Horse Railways and I, as last-minute replacements, checked into the hotel, we had to tell them we were Blakey Rig. And I thought, I don't look like a Blakey. Right. Janie B says S Stock Aitken and Waterman. Oh, hold on. We've got one for that. Ian Fraser asks, where can I get German N-gauge buildings? Well, in the UK, stockists of Continental N-gauge, Gauge Master down in Arundel, they do mail order. They have an extensive range, but also Arcadia Models. So big up to Tim and everybody at the Arcadia Models posse. Great to see you. I haven't popped in for ages, but Arcadia Models has a very extensive selection of Continental models. And
if you talk to Rails from their back stockrooms, they have a lot of interesting Continental stuff. Was it Freiburg or something? There's a lot of stuff based on Freiburg from various...
is it like Noch or Preiser or Heller or something?
Noch, they do loads. And it looks wonderful, like seriously wonderful.
Oh, there we are. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath's kits from Volmer and Kibri. Yeah, there's a lot of great brands over the over in the continent, actually. Yeah.
Although, to be honest with you, some of the stuff that we get here in the UK from Metcalfe, this stuff looks pretty...
it's all right. It's all
pretty good Continental-wise.
Yeah, but Ian Parker says, European out my boxes at Ali Pally. And Anea Oriti says, how is the roof, Jen? Still humid? No, roof is fine. All sorted. So, but
no more roof toots? Roof toot. Roof toot.
SHGP Media says, evening all. This would suggest that SHGP Media is running a bit late.
Gandalf?
Oh, can you hear it? He's coming.
Gandalf.
Can you... Oh, yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to be shy.
Is never late to the wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Oh, and he's brought a friend as well.
Oh no, there's two of them.
Thanks, Gandalf and Gandalf.
And Gandalf.
Oh, one of them's actually a clown dressed up as Gandalf. That would be it. So, Robin Silver says narrow gauge is the best scale for me. Well, I actually really enjoyed playing about with Minith Tatis, actually. It's always great fun. So we're changing the camera. Oh, it works. That one's working. Growl the Blackwood N-gauge layout. Big hello to you. Great to see. Oh, that would suggest that you're late as well. Oh, you still there, Gandalf?
There he is.
He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Oh, and Will Tucker says, evening, everyone. Sneaks in whilst Gandalf is distracted. Oh.
A Monday clubber is never late, Frodo Wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Thanks, Gandalf.
Yeah, thanks, Gandalf. Alfonso Lapulsa says a double-headed Gandalf. Absolutely. Andy 1962 says pre-COVID I used to attend several exhibitions every year. Now retired and no car now makes it much more difficult.
Yeah.
Buses around my part of Scotland aren't user friendly anymore either. So difficult. And unfortunately, public transport is rubbish. So
yes, it
rubbish.
is.
And when you look at the prices as well,
it's like they don't want people to use it.
Yeah, this is what really irritates me, is that they'll quote you a price of like 300 quid for a last minute fare to go down to London, and it's like, well, I can drive the car there and back for like 60,
I could
70
hire
quid.
a car and drive it there.
Yeah, and it's like, and then they wonder why people aren't using it. It's like, yeah, because you're ripping us off. But tonight's topic, we're talking about exhibitions. Are they still worth it?
I have an opinion.
What does that mean? Anaya Ariti says stream is cropping. What does that mean?
Stream is cropping?
Oh, my hand's moving.
Okay, let me check on our monitors.
You keep checking.
I have to say, from my point of view, I think exhibitions are still worth it. I actually missed it when I wasn't there over
Yeah,
this
because
weekend.
we left you behind to basically sit in your pants all day playing Call of Duty.
I wasn't playing Call of Duty. It
Oh
was
no,
SSX.
it was Animal Crossing.
Bit of Animal Crossing as well.
Well, what was
Stream
that
is
one?
fine from my side.
Yeah. Trains with Nick says Jenny got a special Gronk. I did actually. The Gronk that is running is actually. Let me see if I can just keep an eye on the picture. Yep, we're good. So coming round there is a black with why don't you just stop randomly, you silly train?
Let's decided to slow down.
So there is a BR black with wasp stripes Gronk. You'll see a little bit more about that in an upcoming video. And I've done a little pickups video from all the goodies that I picked up. But Anorax Anonymous, must give a shout out to them. They don't really have a website as far as I'm aware, but they do a lot of shows. And this is one of the advantages of going to shows, is that you get to browse a lot of trade. I mean, a huge amount of trade. And I love that aspect. I know some people moan and go, oh, I want to see more layouts. And it's like, yeah, the layouts are good, but actually part of the reason I personally go to shows is I love frisking the bargains.
Yeah. It's about finding the right balance.
Yeah. And like that Gronk, as new in box, it's a model rail special commission from a little while ago. The Gronk is one of the DCC ready ones. I did DCC fit it at the show very, very easily. And £69 mint in box. And
That's
is an
pretty
incredible price.
Yeah.
And it's like I say, places like Anorax Anonymous, bit of an unfortunate name in some respects, playing to the stereotype. But the stuff is priced to sell. They're not shelf queening this stuff. It's not sat there to look pretty all show and then be taken away. It's priced to shift. And certainly half an hour after doors opened on the Saturday, there were like 5 or 6 deep around some of these stalls. And you really needed sharp elbows. But there was a lot of good stuff. And for those people who think, well, unless you turn up early on a Saturday, you're not going to actually get any bargains. They do put out new stock through the day. As it gets sold, it gets replenished.
Because they don't want spaces on the table.
Well, exactly, yeah. You can't put it all out at once. And on the Sunday morning, we came down Iron Horse Railway tonight, and they were putting out a lot of new stuff ready for day 2. So it doesn't really matter which day you go, the bargains are still there. Now, Anaya Oriti says, what is a Gronk? Now, a Gronk is the nickname for a class 08, 09, 10, 11 and 12.
Diesel shunter.
They're diesel shunters. They're quite boxy. And what I'm going to do is... Oh, the cupboard monkey is going...
I'll grab a nice looking Gronk.
Okay, you push past. Yeah. Oh, not now, Gandalf. No. It's not late. It's just on a shelf. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Gandalf. Go and find the biscuits.
He's gone.
So this is a Gronk. Just holding that up. It's a bit difficult. We've got a rubbish camera here for some reason.
Yeah.
But this is a Gronk. Very boxy, 6-wheel diesel shunter. Really, really slow. Switcher, if you prefer. I know that's the term that used in North America and Canada. But definitely there is. Is there a problem?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Let's see. There we go. That does seem to work, actually. But the nickname Gronk comes from the sound that they make. Yeah, Valley's 56XX says hashtag not a cold. But definitely they've got character to them because they've got the side rods on the side. But it's the sound that they make when they move. It's sort of like a Gronk, Gronk, Gronk. And that's where the nickname comes from. I am aware that in Australia
it means something else.
It means something very, very naughty. But in the UK, Gronk is just the nickname for the boxy little Class 08 and derivative locomotive, all the similar outline ones. Sarah Davis says, if you ever saw the original Thomas the Tank Engine, the small diesel that was called Diesel was a Gronk. So there you are. No, it's all right. Beverage of choice, Diet Coke, still going strong.
Well, I was going to go and have a coffee, you see.
I don't want a coffee. I don't want anything that'll be keeping me awake. So unfortunately, I've got to go to bed to then get up.
Would you like
and
a
work
decaf?
No, I don't want a coffee. Oh dear. Right, Going to the Dogs says, exhibitions, are they worth it? Personally, yes, I believe so. Seeing models in the flesh, trade stands for a bargain, latest model railway layouts, and meeting YouTube model railway celebs. Oh, did you see anybody good? It says Agent. Yeah, I saw Laurie's Mechanical Marvels.
Yeah,
so.
was New Junction there?
No, New Junction wasn't there. I was so disappointed.
Oh, wow.
And of course, John JMC, who says, how was the show for you then? It was pretty good, actually. I enjoyed it.
I actually have to admit, I missed it.
Mm.
Well, I didn't expect to, because the first thing that happens when Jen gets invited to a show is we think who would work well with Jen to go
And
with
also,
her.
it's nice to have somebody who really does appreciate
Yeah.
being exhibition. And Iron Horse Railways did get quite excited. So much so, he's now already planning, excuse me, an exhibition layout. He really wants to get on
So normally
on the
it's we give Les a call, or Iron Horse, or someone like that. So someone who actually knows enough that they can hold a conversation at these events. And when we can't get someone, I go. And I missed it this time.
Yeah.
I actually thought I wish I was there. I'd have had a nice look around.
Ian Parker says probably a Triang thing. Triang did do one. Oh, Tim Davis says hello everyone. I'm sorry I'm late. Oh, God, he creeps up on you, didn't he?
So I was here.
Yeah.
He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. I've lost my place now. It's
Of
gone
course
off.
you have.
Trains with Nick says, yeah, quite a few things seem to be very greatly on price depending on the trainer. I must admit, yeah, it has to say, there were a couple of traders there where the prices were really quite noticeably higher than what you could buy elsewhere, and it was quite interesting to see that they didn't actually sell a lot. You know, people
What a surprise.
are very savvy on price.
Yeah.
And if Anorex Anonymous or anything to go by, if you're keen on price, you will make a lot of money. But if you like some of the other stands where the prices were like 40, 50 or 60 pounds for the same item, more, then it's not going to happen. But
So,
Hereford Model Railway, Hereford Model Centre were there, got a good bargain from there. There's some great stuff, and actually, I'd have bought more, but I was being behaved. I really had my eye on a new old stock Bachmann Class 24 factory fitted with DCC as number 24077 in rail blue.
I'll be back. I'm going to go and make a coffee.
What were you laughing at?
Iron Horse's message.
Iron Horse Rover says, oh Zoe, you better come next time then. We can make it a three-way. Oh wait, hang on. Well, instead of having two... Oh, hold on. Oh God, we got a whole tribe of them now. But it has to be said that instead of giving us 2 hotel rooms, they gave us twin hotel rooms. Well, it's sort of 2 letters different, but it did make quite a difference. Luckily, it was a twin room, not a double bed. But yeah, so there we go. Ben Tullett says, waiting for... No, not me bargains! But yeah, Hereford Model Centre were there. Some great stuff, actually. And somebody beat me to it. The A4 that I really wanted. I was umming and ahhing, and it just shows, actually, sometimes if you and ah, somebody else swoops in and gets the bargain instead. But I was looking at some of the Bachmann newest tooling A4s, and they had 3. They had Dwight D. Eisenhower, which I already have, so that wasn't on my radar. William Whitelaw, number 60004, which was actually the one I kind of wanted. And after I was thinking about it, it's like, it shouldn't make any difference to me, because I want to get every single A4, but in the BR livery. So I want 34 A4s, each of them in a BR livery. And I ended up buying Wild Swan, and which is 60021, and actually it's like any A4's as good as any other. So I don't know why I was a bit miffed. But William Whitelaw was the one I kept looking at. But somebody else got a good bargain from Hereford Model Centre. Somebody did actually say earlier on, they said all the best bargains were at TMC. TMC were there with their exclusive weathering stuff. Which you've seen, we did a video actually on the custom weathering. Really, really great stuff. Plus, they always have a lot of special commissions. Simon Train's Model Railway Showcases. I cabbed 60008 Dwight D. Eisenhower when it was at York, of course, for the Great Gathering. And Rails are not doing any of the shows this year. None at all. Last year they did 11, and I did have a chat actually. I said yes last week. I would actually ask them, see what's happening, so I can report back. I've talked to Rails, and what they've said is that the logistics of doing shows really are quite a lot, because they've got to have a lot of staff. That pulls them away from the shop, so they can't actually do the openings and the sales through the shop that they would have done. That's quite expensive, the transport, the hotels, the food, plus the cost of the stand. And yes, whilst they are turning a good healthy profit, that's 11 weekends out of the year that is it's full commitment, plus going back to coming back to work the week after. So you imagine that. You do a week at work at the shop in Sheffield, a show over the weekend, and then back to work. It's a lot of aggro work. I mean, yeah, it's enjoyable, but they never got to see the show, and I think that they're just having an evaluation this year. And there was definitely a lot of other stuff at the Doncaster show. I don't think that the show suffered a huge amount for not having Rails there, because there were other traders filling the slots. But certainly I did miss Rails insofar as I buy a lot too much. Valley's 56XX says, I've never seen an A4 cheap enough. They're always just a bit too rich for me. Too popular, I suppose. They are popular, actually. This one wasn't as cheap as I've had in the past. £94. Katie Walker says you could upset people by doing Ralph Wedgwood in BR colours. Although one of the other A4s was renamed to Ralph Wedgwood. The original Ralph Wedgwood, the original was bombed, blown up at York, along with, I think it was a B-16 or something. And they renamed one of the others Sir Ralph Wedgwood. So there is one you can run in BR livery. Ian Parker says the cost of the trade stand is ridiculous. 11 foot by 8 feet is 650 quid. Yeah, it's not cheap. And yes, Tim Massey, that means Rails will not be at Worley at the end of the year. B2000 RO Toys Channel says, Jenny, I think Model Rail exhibitions are worth it. I would agree with you, although I have seen people chuntering online, and there's always people chuntering online.
And that's why we're having this debate.
Yeah, but I personally thought it was a great show. Big hello to Katie Walker. Great to see you. And says Herringull was renamed. Quite a few were renamed. The only one that was named from new after a person was Sir Nigel Gresley. There were a number of the bird names. The Big Bang was the cupboard monkey banging the mic with a drink. But I've lost my train of thought. It does this a lot. It leaves the station without me.
Here's my question to you guys. I have been talking to Jen a fair amount over the last few months about getting a booth or a stall or a stand somewhere at one of these exhibitions, so that we can have a live reporting from the event thing, a bit like how Sky and BBC and them do at various functions throughout the year, where we can have a conversation with model railway enthusiasts like you guys and also with manufacturers. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. Just a little point. Skipsy Train says the class 143 and 144, the new ones from EFE models, were available at a number of stands, but actually very, very expensive. So be interesting to see what happens, because at the moment there's a lot of big sales going on, and it's interesting to know a lot of the very expensive models that were brought out over the last year are now ending up in the sales. Simon Train's Model Rail Showcase says that's like Ken Patterson does at the train shows.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see whether the exhibitions would accommodate that. Because I don't think we could run to having to pay commercial rates for a booth that we're not making any money out of.
Yeah, I don't think we could afford the prices. Although the company has a bit of cash, I don't want to be spending all of it on a booth.
Absolutely. The Aylesmead project says what you need to realise though is the cost to hire the room, pay for security, it all adds up. And the organisers need to make a profit, a break even. They need to make a profit to be able to have a safety net in case something goes wrong one year.
Also remember, just because it's one price one year doesn't mean it's the same price next year.
Absolutely. It says down here in Plymouth the council charges are shocking. I know a few shows that have effectively just been priced out of their venue by greedy escalating prices.
Yeah.
Although you could argue that with the rising cost of things like electricity, insurance, maybe it's not so greedy. It's just unfortunately it seems to...
No, remember King Con in Durham?
Oh yeah.
The comic convention? That Durham literally priced out.
But Katie Walker says, helped on a few trade stands at shows, can be hard work breaking things down in the evening, busy in the weekend, but afternoons can be quiet. Warbler Productions says, there is a TARDIS behind the Gronk on the far side of the shuttle track.
Yes, there is.
Indeed there is.
Well done.
So, right. I think we've lost a camera. So
I am working on it.
Skipsy Train says, Zoe, yeah, I agree. A bit like when you and Jenny were at the rails of Sheffield Open Day. Mind you, they run the risk of interviewing me and Mrs. Skipsy. And this is having us invited along, because actually we might bring along a lot of crowd.
That's the idea. That was the point of that show where we went along, we tried out, because Rail said, yeah, come along, see how it works, which was great of them.
Shaky Hands Shed Model Railways asks, could someone join in with a layout at Bolton IPMS show, as it is a huge show? I don't know, that would be down to the organisers to approach people. Sarah Davis says, Durham is an expensive city though. Whilst that is true, would you rather have the venue empty, not earning any money, or full, earning money?
You've got to remember,
and it seems the council decided that
there are some people, I'm not saying who, and I'm not going to say it's always, but there are some people and some councils all over the country that go, no, that wouldn't be a good fit for the style of city that we're wanting.
Yes, we'd like to be bankrupt instead, but we can
like only
soothe our egos.
A certain type of fellow.
Yes, yes. Howard Pomfret says, evening everyone. That implies that...
Gandalf?
Is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives
got biscuit crumbs round his face.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Cheers, Gandalf. Katie Walker says, NEC breakdown timing can be a nightmare now. Yeah, the NEC is starting to... It's almost diva-ish. It's like, well, you can't do this. You've got to do this. You've got to pre-book your entry time to get into the venue, to set up and to break down. And it's like, well, do you want the show or not?
The NEC sounds like they're trying to get rid of it.
No, they do that with everybody. Retro Ramble says, do people who exhibit their layouts get any money from the shows? Well, travel expenses, and if you have to stay over in a hotel, you get that as well. So actually, it's...
They try to make it so that you're not out of pocket.
Absolutely, and when you're an exhibitor, it is really nice, and it's why I always wonder why sometimes people get very diva-ish and then end up getting, well, fine, don't bring your layout then. But because
to be honest with you, I can also see if it's a big layout or complex to set up, and sometimes you just don't want the stress.
Yeah, but then why do you actually then accept the invitation in the first place if you don't want to take
I
it?
don't know.
But certainly, nobody gets appearance money.
No,
I know.
it's not.
If they do, it kept that from me. Then I never got appearance.
I don't think
money.
that's the idea. The appearance thing isn't that. You get into the show for free. You get your travel and accommodation expenses, or you get put up in a hotel. So it depends on the venue. So it's more that you're getting in for free, and we'll make sure you're not out of pocket for your travel and time.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fair deal.
Mac Navi says, with Tramfabrique, I make a deal. I bring a layout, but also my sales stand, so I tend to get a free place. That can work at smaller shows quite well, but at larger shows, often they're very... they've got no wiggle room on that, because the problem is that some of the traders have paid a lot of money to be there to trade.
Yep.
And can get a little bit uppity if they see other traders, in their eyes, other traders get in for free. But certainly with smaller shows, that can be a great way of doing things. And certainly I know that there's certainly at least one show that DCC Concepts take their switchback layout to, that gives them a discount for the fact that effectively they've got a very impressive layout on their stand.
Yeah.
Howard Pomfret says, I was at the Doncaster on Saturday, Jenny, and missed you twice.
How?
Presumably,
look at the size of her. She's
presumably they came to the layouts twice whilst I was off doing the trade.
If I was hunting, I think I'd get a good shot. Yeah, I've missed you, but my aim's getting better.
Flyman Chairman says, oh, she was upstairs, Howard. I know the feeling. Oh, did nobody tell you there was an upstairs? Tim Maslin says, which shows are you planning to attend this year? Nothing hard and fast as yet.
Jen is very flexible.
Dominic Z says, Jenny, most of Dickie's Kickline products were released under Jada or Yada toys in other countries. Interesting to know. So that's Dominic Z, our Kickline correspondent. Always great to be in the know. Jennifer Horton says, yes, the Welsh Pool and Fanfare do that. We bring the publicity stand, but also one or two of the small Dave and Shirley Row 009 layouts. Ben Tullett says the NEC are very awkward. They only seem to want to have the huge shows on, and unfortunately, the shows like Wally are seen as small.
3B Rail, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And that reminds me, actually, I've got to...
There's something here that you need to show.
3B Rail, thank you so much for your generosity. Says, it's £10 here towards the new camera fund. And, oh, you guys, 3B Rail found a Piggly Wiggly. In fact, do we
Put it onto the big cam down there.
Well, let's just, hold on. Let's just, might get a better view here. Piggly Wiggly! Piggly Wiggly! Good. Thank you so much, 3B Rail. Apparently 3B Rail found this in a thrift shop in Fort Lauderdale.
It's so nice.
It's a Piggly Wiggly in HO! And a big hello as well to New Junction. But look at Piggly Wiggly, it's light up, it's great! I'm going to have to do a full review
Jenny
of this.
is so happy. 3B Rail, you have made Jenny incredibly happy.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. So how are you doing, New Junction? Saw you came in. It's disappeared off the top. Bertie Wooster says Hornby 3 Rail is back again.
Nice.
I don't think it ever really went away. It's certainly... I love the old tin plate Hornby 00.
3 Rail is not dead. 3 Rail is life.
Oh.
Thanks,
B. Mozza says, a rumour at Doncaster was that Worley may not go ahead this year. You've got to be taking things with a little pinch of salt. Some rumours turn out to be true, but a lot of rumours don't. And I've not heard anything. And I would guess that Worley's already being booked. So has anybody been booked for a Worley at the moment, or if you're a trader, have you started the process? Have you heard anything? 3B Rail says, you're most welcome, Jenny. Oh, thank you so much. And John JMC says, oh wow, you got it then. Yes, Piggly Wiggly. We need that on the soundboard. Piggly Wiggly. Yeah, Valleys 56XX says, rumours and rumours of rumours. Thank you so much. Mark has donated $10.
Thank you
It
so
says,
much.
make a Piggly Wiggly style booth at a train show. Come on, chats, convince the girls. Oh, wow.
I like that idea.
I mean, maybe that's something that we could suggest. But then you see, a lot of the magazines have their areas. Manufacturers have their areas. And would having our own booth be a little bit restrictive? Because I couldn't really rove around as much because I'd have to be at the booth to meet and greet. Unless we had meeters and greeters.
Well, no, if you had a booth, you could still go off because I would hold the fort and do certain things while you were off, and then when I needed to pop to a loo or something, you could be back.
Jay Pryor says, I was there on Saturday and asked if I could take some pictures. You kindly said yes. Always welcome to take pictures. I'm always happy for that.
Yeah,
So-
we can't, however, insure you against cracking the camera.
What? You big hello to you, Wardle
I
Road.
think I know where the rumour about Wally's coming from. The website's not been updated. It's still talking about 2022.
Iron Horse Railway says rumours and nothing more than what I can tell. And Warbler Productions says they're already selling tickets for Wally this year. So
I'd expect
Wardle
it's going on.
Road
It's big.
has turned up somewhat late, I think.
Really?
A Monday clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks,
Thank
Gandalf.
you.
Jennifer Horton says, reminds me, I can't help but call my new Lancashire and Yorkshire model a Puggy Poo. I think I caught that off Jenny. I caught that off somebody else. Somebody else was calling them Puggy Poos. Nick at Bletchton High Level says, Rhubarb, we've been booked for Wally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the
I
rumours are wrong then.
Like I said, I think the rumour is just because the front page of the Wally site hasn't been updated yet.
So Mark has very kindly donated $5 and says, recruit people to take visitors to your booth. Call them Little Gronkies.
Little Gronky,
Gronk
little
it
Gronky.
up, Gronk it up, Gronk it up. Not a cult.
I still think we need cosplayers at these conventions.
What, it's like a big foam Gronk?
Yeah, just turn up, cosplaying as Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, and you can do that like with your arms for the side rods.
Yeah.
Gronky, Gronky. Oh, no, copyright.
If I ever get a copyright strike for my singing, I will be amazed.
To be like, wow, I can sing. DJ K666 says, is Puggy Poo a new kind of disease? No. John JMC says, pulling apart two Graham Farish 08s to make an 009 Garrett. Ooh. Excellent. Looking forward to that. Actually, you showed me the unpainted. I think it looked really good, actually. So, really looking forward to the completed thing.
Hamilton Model Railway says, good evening, Jennifer and Zoe, and all in the chat. I believe that means Gandalf.
A Monday clubber is
brought friends.
Take that soundboard off. You're a menace. Stop it. I gave her a soundboard for use in emergencies, and all she's done is press the buttons.
Flint Hills Model Railway, Jeff Hammond says, Wally Model Railway Exhibition, Saturday and Sunday, the 25th and 26th of November in Hall 5 at the NEC. So we've put the kibosh on the rumours. It's definitely going ahead.
There you go.
So I wonder if they might get in touch and go, are you serious about that booth? And they're like, yeah. And they went,
Yeah.
right, well, don't take it anywhere near here. Come on, be gone with you. Be gone with you.
Yeah, don't bring it in here. Hey, Walter Road, how you doing?
Ben Tullett says, Jenny, I know someone from the Wally Club I volunteer with did say it might be a future possibility. The show may stop if they don't get more members in the club due to aging members.
Now
And
that
this
I can
is
understand.
another problem, actually, that a lot of clubs have, is with an aging membership and not getting new people in. And I suppose that's a debate for another day as well.
Yes.
Why are people, younger people, not joining clubs? When actually it does seem that the hobby is alive and doing quite well.
I can tell you straight off why.
Apathy.
Because kids and people our age don't often
They
go
don't
out,
mix.
They don't go out and mix in the same way that they used to. You don't go to your local working men's club.
Yeah.
You're not a member of your local youth club when you're growing up and things like that.
So it becomes a more alien concept. I mean,
Yeah.
when we were young, there was no internet to entertain you. So I have to say that one of the things that we did, like, I remember going to youth clubs.
Yeah.
I got made to. It wasn't my choice because I was like, oh, I just want to test out. I want to play with my toys. But
Well,
also,
that was kind of why I got forced into going. But you know what? I loved it.
yeah, it's like
Our
there you go.
local
Have
youth
some
club-
sunlight on you.
Yeah, I loved it so much that I told my friends about it, and by the end, we were all going. We all piled in my dad's car and went.
SHGP Media says, and I don't like people. It's like you. You're like that.
I do like people, just not from close range.
Yeah.
But to be
oh,
honest with you, go on.
New Junction says, I'd like to see a speaker stage for guest speakers like you did at Ali Pally in previous years.
Oh,
Yes. I think that would be really good, like a panel event.
Yes,
I think a panel
panels and
event.
stuff would be
Now,
great.
Comic-Cons have these all the time. They're incredibly popular, and you could. I mean, that's kind of what was happening at Ali Pally that year with the MRC, with Lawrence Robbins doing the interviews, and it worked really well. They live streamed them onto the internet, put up videos of them, and it was really, really good. And I got interviewed a couple of times when I last went, and it was really, really good. And I think a panel event where we could talk about things like is there a future for exhibitions? Why are model clubs struggling to attract new members? And also, you know, like future of the DCC, future of the hobby, prices, and actually get a nice panel where you could mix people from magazines, celebrities, but also like long-standing modelers, manufacturers, retailers. There is so much possibility. Generally speaking, I guess a panel works really well with, say, 4 people, plus you need a moderator.
A moderator to keep track
Yeah,
of
otherwise it will just kind of become one
Free
person
fall.
on their
And-
soapbox.
Yeah, and then having a Q&A as well at the end always works. It takes an hour. It gives a bit more variety to the show, and people love it.
People like the kind of access that you can get with that. And,
Yes.
you know, getting people like, you know, maybe you could invite, I'm sure Pete Waterman would probably be up for doing a panel.
I'm sure it would, yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see whether you could get people like Jules Holland, Anne Diamond, another famous celebrity modeler, you know, getting people from
Getting
the
Anne
magazines
Diamond
as well.
would be very interesting because I have to say the hobby still has the reputation of it being old men, even though it's not, and it hasn't been for years. It still has that
And it's
reputation.
interesting to say, I was talking to Carol Flavin actually at Doncaster. It was lovely to actually be able to have a chat with her. I haven't seen her actually since the filming of Great Model Railway Challenge. And we were trading stories about the fact that one of the irritants when you do an exhibition as a woman is people coming up and assuming that you're just sort of holding the fort whilst the man who built it is away. And it's like, what? And
Someone said that in a comment on one of your videos.
what?
Who was... I missed the name of your husband at the show.
Husband?
Yeah, Craig.
Oh my God, am I married and I didn't notice?
You've married... Apparently, according to some people, you've married Iron Horse Railways. So
Yeah.
I'd like to take that up with you. Why wasn't I informed?
Iron Horse Railways. Apparently, we're married. But no, I mean, I remember years ago, long before the YouTube career, going to shows with a friend who was basically my co-pilot. He was also interested in model railways. And you need at least people with an exhibition. Otherwise, I felt very sorry for Planet Industrials actually at the show because he didn't have anybody to kind of give him a break. But they would turn to my friend and ask him about the model. And he'd go, I don't know, why didn't you ask her? She built it. And then they'd be like, look all confused. And then the next question, they would ask him again. It's like, what?
But that doesn't happen quite as much these days. I think the fact that we've had all these TV shows and we've had more women coming out to events has shown that actually there's women here and we like building stuff as well.
Yeah. Jennifer Horton says, yes, I didn't get a programme at Doncaster whilst in the
What
queue.
was that? Did you not hear that noise?
I did actually. Yeah, you.
You keep your
Is
eye.
that wind?
I don't know. I'm checking outside.
Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says there were at least 2 people on the Planet Industrial stand. Yes, but one of them was running the layouts.
Nothing on there. I'm gonna go and have a look around. See what that
Okay, yeah, you
was.
go and check out the neighbourhood. Take Gandalf with you.
I will.
Oh no, not that Gandalf! No. Oh gosh, you mention his name and he just pipes up. Yeah, thanks Gandalf. Now go off and help Zoe. Patrick Ling says, sorry, got to leave early. It's not well. I'm sorry to hear that. Do take care and get better soon. Raymond Legg says, the only thing I hated about Derailed 2002 is that they blew up the museum quality model trains they built for the movie. I'd have loved to have one of those 3-gauge UIC coaches. Nick at Bleshton High Level says, we need more ladies in the railway scene. Gordon Hanning says, I'm currently trying to join my local club, but they lost their club room recently, so don't really have proper meetings at the moment. And that there are also a lot of issues with actual like venues, troubles with venues. Also issues with insurance. But one of the reasons, I've never been a member of a model club, and one of the reasons for this is when I've attended openers in the dim and despair. These days I don't have the time, but back when I started, what I really hated about model clubs was that they'd a lot of the ones that I went to open days on, they would have some very driven people who would kind of dictate what they did, and the rivet counters used to annoy the heck out of me. People go, oh no, you can't run that. That is completely out of keeping with this layout. And it's like fun police. And unfortunately, I think a lot of clubs have to be careful not to let the fun police make it a little bit of a full of friction environment where people want to actually just enjoy themselves, enjoy the modelling, and then be told, oh no, you've got the rivet in the wrong place. And I think that basically clubs have to be mindful of that. Krista Duke says the Model Railway Club we be is to one a good mix of people and a junior club, definitely a junior club, both run at the same time so kids and adults can help each other. Absolutely. And the Aylesmead Project says, I think that's a bit a cliquey club is a bad club. Absolutely. And Raymond Legs don't like rivet counters. Yeah, unfortunately, I call them the fun police. And when you get people saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't, a real can't do merchant, it's like the kiss of death to clubs. It's the kiss of death to any activity. Hot Dog Pilot 63 says, undeniably, exhibitions are full of old blokes, however you want to slice it. Yes, but there were a lot of women, actually. I was quite pleased at Doncaster show that, again, we're still seeing a lot of women. And not just being the plus ones. I saw a lot of groups of women who were actually just women modellers, and I chatted with a lot of women models. And actually, in one instance, I was chatting to the woman. The husband was like, yeah, I like playing with the trains, but I'm not into building the models. And she was like the model maker. And I thought that was great, and it just showed that railway modelling is really a genderless hobby. You don't have to be one gender or the other to enjoy it. So my thoughts really are that I think there is a future for clubs. There needs to be a future for clubs. Of course, a lot of these model railway exhibitions don't get organised without the club. There are a few commercial exhibitions, but there's not enough really to fill the calendar, and certainly commercial exhibitions wouldn't be the small ones. And sometimes the small ones are great for a nice relaxed event where you don't have to force your way through crowds. And it's a nice way to maybe see some of the smaller layouts that don't go on the big exhibition circuit. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says many women are more creative than the men. Madden Steam Railway says, I've given up going to the vast number of model railway exhibitions. The trains on display are pretty much similar. The ones I attend are Ali Pali, White Webb's Museum of Transport, and one other. And SHGP Media says, one of the problems I have with the clubs is they're only on late during the week. Not ideal for my daughter who's at school. Weekends would be much easier. Plus, I'd rather not go after a full day at work. Absolutely, yes. And that's the thing. I think sometimes you have retired people who run them who kind of forget that some of us still have to go out and work. Andy81E says, hi, Monday Club. Sorry I'm late.
A Monday Clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. What was it?
Next door.
What are they doing?
Someone's in the shower and seems to be having a problem.
Oh?
They keep dropping the soap and saying bang, bang, bang.
Dropping the soap. You've got to be careful doing that.
Yeah, but they're not in prison, so it's okay.
Retro Rambles says, what's the criteria for displaying your model at an exhibition? Can anyone turn up with their layout, or do you have to be a member of a model club? No,
to be invited.
You have to be invited. And invite is a loose term. You don't sort of sit there and go, please invite me, please.
Yeah,
please.
talk
to them.
Tell them, yeah, you've got this thing. Maybe send some photos and say, look,
yes,
it's this size. I'm really interested in getting an exhibition place.
Yeah.
And that's where you get the invites. They don't know about everyone.
Absolutely.
But also, they only have limited space, so they pick and choose what
Yeah,
work.
yeah. So, I mean, so like, I offered some layouts to the Worley Model Club, and I've not actually heard back. I probably should chase that up at some point.
And that's the thing. They get so many applications.
They do.
That, if you don't hear back, it's not because they're being rude. It's that they haven't been able to put it together out of all the bits.
Valley's 56XX says, I'd rather see an odd eclectic layout with aliens and explosions than yet another Great Western branch line in P4 and EM. And that's an interesting point. That it's like a lot of layouts. It's almost like there's like a cliche with layout building. And it would be really lovely to see more of the layouts that do something very interesting.
Like Laurie's Mechanical Marvels. I love those layouts he does. The dioramas with all the space stuff and trains.
No, that's Laurie Calvert.
Calvert, sorry.
You're getting the Laurie's mixed
up.
up.
Laurie Calvert. I love that stuff. It's so good. It's unique.
And what it shows actually is it highlights some of the issues that we have in the in clubs and the modelling community. That there's the breed of people who poo-poo that, so they go, oh no, there is no room for that here. And it's like, well, actually, you're not reading the audience.
Yeah, there is room. And to be honest with you, is that kind of the issue with some model clubs, because the internet won't stop you doing whatever you want. So why join the club when you can just go online?
And actually, it could be said, if we had a Monday Club booth, maybe we should have a few small layouts. And actually, Laurie Calvert with his steampunk layouts is precisely one of the people, if he's not already invited to the show, to say, actually, he's the kind of person with something really different and interesting that that shows really need. And he does do a lot of shows. It has to be said. It's not like he sat at home going, why does nobody invite me? He does do a lot of shows. But certainly, I like that. Something really different.
Yeah.
And there's some interesting layouts out on the scene. I've seen some, after Great Model Railway Challenge, the Jurassic Park idea with a railway through a Jurassic Park seems to have taken off. I've seen more and more on that kind of a theme, and I like it.
It's great. I also still love those crocheted trees. I want to see a Yellow Submarine themed layout.
Yeah, well, that was Carol Flavin and
weird
the Loco ladies.
Locomotive. So get a few old ones and paint them in funny colours.
Well, I remember one year going to Worley, and they had an oyster perch and fire twittering. Was it Rowland? Emmett Rowland? I forget the name of the artist, but it's very whimsical. And it was lovely. I love that kind of thing. And Wamgok says, Jenny, you're on the telly. Oh my God.
You've been on Crime Watch again.
What are you doing?
I'm getting ready for the videos.
You made the thingy come on. Did we just... There's like the intro just suddenly played.
I bet it did.
Why
did it? It was catching up.
Oh, right. So what are you doing? Oh, we're preparing to do some of your videos, and this
Yes.
is the bit where we have our own model railway exhibition.
I love this bit because
Absolutely.
we get to see all kinds of things.
And of course, as always, you can submit your photos and your videos. Make sure it's your videos, your photos. Raoul and Emmett, thanks so very much. Trains with Nick, that's the name that I was trying to think of. This is where it's a great opportunity to show off what you've been working on. Please send a link to your video, don't attach the video itself, to the email address zoe.robinson@gmail.com, and that is Zoe spelt the European way, just the ZOE, no errand Y on the end, and that will get through. Do please put Monday Club as your subject title just to make it easier to find. You can also attach your photographs. Just make sure that the total amount of like, don't just send like 1,000 megabytes of photos in one email because it'll break. Warbler Production says TARDIS sitting on double track tunnel portal. Actually, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
But where's
But it's
the
not
other
only
one? Oh no, there's a flock of clowns.
A flock of... Oh, Jenny!
Yeah.
I love you, but you're weird.
Tony Wright says, Jenny, I attended Exhibitor Model Show last year as an operator on the American Railroad layout, which attracted a lot of attention. Absolutely, here in the UK,
I do love
there
to
are
see the other
US
ones.
outline layouts, but not as many. What I really
There's
love...
going to be a couple in our house because I'm making a diorama.
James Pett says, I do approve of realistic layouts, but I don't believe in being unkind to people who have different preferences. There's room for all sorts. in the world of model
Exactly.
railways. And I
Exactly.
approve of that sentiment. And Colton Tweedle says, I agree with James Pett. Absolutely. Holly Ruston says, if you're still on here in 5 years, Jenny, I'll send some pics of my Thorn North diorama.
We're not planning to go anywhere.
Yeah. And Michael Lovelace says, join a club. You might get to take your layout to the club show. And certainly
true.
that's a really good way of improving your chances of taking your layout to the shows. But certainly make them aware.
Yeah.
There we are. Katie Walker says, the TARDIS by the military bunker. Ham Shackleton says, third try. There aren't many ladies in the model flying or metal detecting groups either. One of the problems is lack of plumbing facilities at outdoor events.
That is so true. Guys,
But-
you can just go behind a tree.
Yeah, you've got a point and click interface.
It's harder for women without some kind of device.
Yeah, we only have the click interface, not the point. Oh, excuse me. But it must be said, can I just say, a big plus for the venue at Doncaster, at the racecourse, the ladies' toilets were actually really good. My only gripe might be they had motion-sensitive lights that didn't really give you a very long time. So if nobody else came into the toilets, you ended up sat in the dark. And I
Yeah.
mean in the dark, there's no windows in the toilets.
Yeah. I'm
Is it-
peeing in the dark. Just
Yes,
peeing
yeah.
in the dark.
Alfonso La Pulsa says, what's the collective noun for clowns?
A horn? A little car?
A fumble?
Yeah, a tumble of clowns.
A tumble of clowns. Yeah, there we go. Tumble of clowns.
I love it.
Yes. Oh, here they come again.
Stop it! I'm going to take that soundboard off you. You're a menace. You're an absolute menace to society.
It's a flock of clowns. The flock of clowns have just gone past. Don't worry. They're no bother. They're no bother. And yes.
I just got in my mind. Flock of clowns just tumbling past.
Look, James Pett says, I love the geese effect. Flock of clowns.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right, guys, our first video tonight. Go on now.
Katie Walker says, motion sensing flush is a surprise. Thanks, NEC, for that surprise. There's even... It gets better. If you're wearing a high-vis jacket, when you sit down, the high-vis sets off the motion-sensing flush repeatedly, to the point where the motion-sensing taps... I could do a good trick. There's a motorway service station where there's all these motion-sensing taps, and there's this small child fascinated by the fact as I walked down the row, the taps went on and off as I passed. Yeah. DJ K666 suggests maybe it should be a nightmare of
A
clowns.
parliament of clowns. I love it.
a Parliament says Inter AB 150.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sarah Davis uses the Shiwi. But, yeah, you've got to learn how to use
Can
those
I
things.
just, and this is probably a lot of people going, too much information, but the Shiwi, use it in the shower many times until you're confident you can get a good seal. Otherwise, all you're doing is peeing down your leg.
Yeah, they're not the best. They're
No.
good, but they're not great. Right, guys, our first video tonight is from Alex, who is DJK666. He says, here's a video of my 37-year-old Hornby Ginty running after I fixed it up
Oh, excellent.
on Daventry MRC's test track. So
Brilliant.
Here we go.
Crawstone Junction says, hi Jenny, I'm trying to sell my models. Have you hit play yet?
Here we go.
Okay, so
I believe
I did press the right button. Good. Hi Jen, I'm trying to sell my models. I have over 300 rolling stock, 200 die-cast road vehicles and other buildings. We sent the list to retailers but got poor offers. Any advice how to sell them? Well, there's a combination. There are some Facebook selling pages that you can join. But also eBay is something you can try, but be prepared to do a lot of legwork. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Rails to Sheffield's usually decent though.
Yeah, try Rails to Sheffield. Tell them I sent you.
Mm.
Worst case scenario, you could always say no.
That was great. I actually really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Seeing
Right.
the old stuff.
Hold on. I need you to make sure that because I can't see the cameras at the
Yeah, I'm
moment.
about to.
Just to right, that's fine.
Don't worry about it, Jen. I'm on.
Whoa.
What are you doing?
I needed to see that
Yeah,
to make
I
sure
was trying
that
to work
there
this-
we go. I'm trying to make sure that we're not just showing a black screen.
Yeah, I'm also trying to set up things as well.
Oh,
so,
Sarah Davis says a mini full of clowns. Surely no, it'd be a crap clown that a crap car of clowns. Never mind. Richard Swiderski says looks and runs well. Absolutely. Holly Ruston says and get it the right way round or it'll go out the window.
I have to admit, I enjoyed seeing that little Ginty running because it's nice to see that people are still making the old stuff work.
Oh, I like that. Alfonso Lapulsa says a flock of clowns. I ran so far away in my unfleeceably floppy shoes. Right. So, did you turn? Yes, you did turn the
Yeah, the
sound.
sound's off.
James Pett says my favourites so far are flock and tumble of clowns. Oh, Sue at Pudham Junction suggests a honk of clowns. Katie Walker says a nose of clowns. Timber Surf, hello to you, says arrived on time.
Yes, you did.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Dongit's Model Railway says you'll get more money selling things individually, but it is a lot of work. If you want shot of the collection in one go, expect lower offers. The work to catalogue and list it all isn't free.
Yeah.
And you've got to remember as well, model shops, they're going to make money.
They have to turn a profit, otherwise they're not there next year.
Yeah.
That's how it is. So next up we have from Dongit's Model Railway. Says I've released a video today showing how I fixed a Hornby Class 50,
Ooh.
which gave a dead short when DCC fitted.
Oh, yeah. Which one is... yeah, there was an issue with some of the earlier releases where they did this.
So if you would press the buttons, he's...
So,
Yep.
let's go.
Here we go. So this is long and it's got a lot of talking in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link into the chat like everything else, and then we'll see how this goes.
Actually, one of the things that I've had with the Class 50s is with Hornby models is underneath, right, and they run on DC, but it blows DCC decoders. Is you get a bridge between F1 and the F0 lighting and the power, which on DC is fine because then your lights come on, but in when you put a decoder in, what it means is you're feeding track power direct into an auxiliary input, and that pops the decoder.
Yeah, bad.
Larry Rogers says, here in the USA, we call a group of clowns our Congress. So, I mean, this is always... one thing I would say is you've got to be careful putting a decoder into a locomotive on a main-powered track. I always suggest...
Programming track first.
Programming track first, and if it Interesting. Ian Parker says, had to watch out for thieves at Doncaster. Man had a handful of buffer stops.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
I heard somebody asking about buffer stops. I didn't really, just let you hear something in passing. And I wonder if that's the conversation, what it was about.
Also, it's not just model railway conventions. There was a guy at a show in America just this weekend who was displaying for sale, he was a dealer, some incredibly rare Star Wars kits. And this one was a die-cast TIE bomber. It's incredibly rare. A guy wearing a massive backpack and a mask, like a COVID mask, wandered up, waited for him to be distracted, and just took it.
What? And nobody.
No one knows who he is because he had the mask on.
Huh.
So now, everyone's aware. Everyone in the Star Wars community for toy collectors and things knows about this. Even I know, and I only watch the videos. I don't collect. So they're all on the lookout for where this thing turns up, because that guy is.
Is it rare enough that you just know?
It's rare enough that you have to insure it separately. It's worth over $3,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holly Ruston says, I bought a Hornby 56 with seized up drives, disassembled and blattered the gearbox with IPA, problem fixed, and got a cheap 56. Yeah,
Nope, this is his programming system.
Oh, interesting. Is this Jet? It's Jet. Oh, it's Merg.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was just, like I said, I've got this into the chat. I think this is going to be very, very interesting.
This is definitely fault diagnosis. This is a really interesting video. So we're just going to.
So I'm going to jump it on because we can't see what he's saying.
But certainly, this is well worth.
Someone would steal the tombola prize off the table at your model shop. That's
James Pett says, I approve of Merg. Thought you might. But and so this is the fixing. So clearly there's something that's shorted out. So it looks like here, using the soldering iron to melt the solder, and is that something? Putting in wire jumpers. So presumably cut where it's bridged. And as Jerry BVR says, JMRI using Merg.
Right.
But yeah, unfortunately, there seems to be.
And there you go.
There's always thieves out there.
Yeah, you've got to be careful.
And no hobby is immune to it. And
Mark Wilson, the Star Wars man with a mask. Surely that's Darth Vader.
So it shows slow and methodical getting it fixed. Katie Walker says a few years back at the Bristol Joe show, they caught a guy who had stolen a load of stuff. After arrest and release, he came back in the evening and asked security if he could collect his bag. I hope they told him to take a hike.
I hope they told him that it was collected as evidence.
Well, presumably it was full of O-gauge. I'd have told him to take a hike.
Yeah, you're not having it now.
Yeah.
No. That is a really interesting
and
video.
Katie Walker said, which turned out to be full of even more stolen stuff.
I bet it did. That's why I came back and asked for it.
Oh, ooh.
So yeah, thank you so much for that, Dongits. That was great.
Absolutely. And
really interesting.
It shows that there's a methodical way to repair stuff, and it's potentially quite a good way of getting a cut price locomotive that doesn't at first glance seem to work, but actually it doesn't take much to get it running. I've had a few. I had a Backman Ginty that I bought for probably only about a tenner, and it was a split gear, and Backman actually sent me the spare part for free.
Wow.
Timber Surf says there are always some who expect a 5-finger discount, and Katie Walker says it was actually a second bag that he'd hidden, so it wasn't the one that he'd been caught with.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is what a brass neck some people have.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I've been to shows where people have stolen stuff, and it's not pleasant. There was one of the model rail exhibitions where somebody broke in overnight and robbed the place.
Yeah, that school. They trashed the place. So here, guys, we have next up Charlie McGowan, who says, last couple of days here in California, went to the Grand National Hot Rod Show in Pomona, in Fairfax, and found this huge garden railway. Oh.
Result.
Oh my goodness.
Right, make it big, make it run.
You're gonna love this.
So this looks really good. Skipsy Train says, spoke to the guys at Aspire Models at last year's Loughborough Model Show. They set up on the Friday, and when they turned up for the show on the Saturday, they'd lost £22,000 worth of stock.
Oh
so was there not security at the show?
You'd have thought so.
Wow. Holly Rushton says, I'm an electrical technician by trade. When I buy second-hand loco, I remove the PCB, fit my own decoder board and replace the factory-fitted lights. Never have a problem. I've had to do that with a Hellion Class 35 because it was riddled with issues. And Warbler Production says that was at Leamington Spa a few years ago.
Yeah. You've always got to be... This is the thing. You've always got to be careful. And also be careful of your own stuff, not just the exhibitors. Because if they're doing that to exhibitors, they're doing that to other people as well.
Absolutely, and you think, so, utter scum. They've gone to an exhibition just to steal. John JMC says, we got robbed at the Great Central Railway in 2019. And that maybe it's an idea to have some kind of CCTV set up on a trade stand, or even a model railway. Because, quite frankly, some of the model railways can be just as susceptible to having somebody at the front just grabbing and the locomotive disappears. Charlie Chimp says, growing up in Germany, I once pinched a grape at a supermarket. My mum told me you get shot in Germany for stealing. I've never stolen anything since.
I think many kids have just helped themselves at one point. I remember there were a couple of kids that did that around where I grew up. And saying, you haven't learnt that you don't do that yet, have you?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I enjoyed that.
That was so good. My
Absolutely.
Goodness.
If you just check that we're getting the camera up,
that is
we're going to have to get into the hat. Yep, that's fine.
That is why I did came down from that. That was great. That was so good.
Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Thank you
so much. And Ben Tullett says that is a cool garden railway.
Yes.
Also, should mention as well, just sorry, I should say hello to Henry Kiddle. My little nephew. Some of you may have met him at the show in Doncaster, but I know that he'll be watching tonight. So, you and Charles, come on, be good now. Yeah. Oh, hold on. There's that flock of clowns is coming through.
That flock of clowns is getting bigger every time it rolls past.
Hold on, there's a straggler. Sarah Davis says, I remember Lister from Red Dwarf used to go scrumping as a kid for cars.
Yes.
Yeah, we weren't very good at it. Always getting caught.
So what we got now is from Richard Swiderski, who says, hi Zoe and Jenny. Little video for the Monday Club and Midland Pullman HST. Seen passing Hertford Station in Cheshire. So this should be interesting.
Absolutely. So SHGP Media says, I've seen enough kids grab stuff off layouts at shows. Unfortunately, it does happen a bit.
The adults don't tell them not to. That's the problem.
And it's unfortunately the kids don't tend to steal. It's just that they kind of look with their fingers.
That is it. Kids look with their hands, and it's a lot of them. It's not because they're wanting to cause problems. They just don't think.
Actually, Sue at Putnam Junction says, working in a shop, we see lots of thefts lately. It's how brazen they are that gets me.
Because the police don't do anything anymore.
Wham-Gok says, Jenny, you're on the telly. Yeah, Crime Watch again.
Yeah.
Actually, well, I won't have time after this.
I'm sick of all the dancing that we see on telly these days. People keep falling off. When are they going to learn?
What? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Oh. Harry Sedgwick saw this train at Carlisle. Now, is it?
Has it
got the
good
blue
animation
Pullman things on both ends now? Because there was one of them was laid up somewhere for a while.
Look at the animation. Those trees are moving.
Oh, you're so funny. Glad I wore a corset because my
So we
sides
increase
was
ticket
literally...
prices if shows have to supply 2 nights of security. Yeah, or just some cameras.
I mean, I must admit, back when my father and I used to do, steam fairs, and we'd be in the model marquee, and it would literally be a big marquee in a field, and we used to actually sleep in the marquee, which was just because we used it like a huge fly sheet. We'd put the inner part of our tent up, just the bit that goes under the fly sheet, and we would actually camp out in the marquee. And they actually, the organisers were pretty cool with this because they, as they said, it's security.
Yeah.
If you've got somebody there all night, you just can't better that. But we did catch people occasionally trying to sneak in to steal stuff, and it was something, you know, even 30 years ago, I can remember at one of the shows, one of the stalls in the marquee at the far end got robbed because they sneaked in underneath and nicked stuff off the stand. And they knew that we were in there because they'd targeted the opposite end of the marquee from where we were.
Yeah.
Right.
So shall we go on to something that's nicer? What we got here is from Mark at Hameldown Model Railway. It says, can you show some pictures of my loft layout? It's a work in progress. Absolutely we can, Mark. Let's have a look.
Christine Kirk says, hi, Auntie Jenny and Auntie
Hello.
Zoe. And says, I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Hello.
So, oh, wait a minute. That's
Hi.
big hello. And, of course, a big hello to Henry and Charles. I can see you. You know, it's two-way. You didn't know that, did you?
It's
Oh, wait a minute.
Don't make people paranoid.
Hold on. What's? Oh, my word. Look, you can
Oh
you
my
can
goodness, look at the
almost
polish
hear
of
the
this.
flopping of feet.
What are you like?
And that's for the one who's just poured a big bucket of water down his trousers. Oh, stragglers.
Oh. Here we are. What about this?
So, these are photographs?
I've just realised that, I'm sorry guys, you're going to see this weirdly for a moment because our Jenny cam has expanded and I'm not sure why. So sorry about this. I'm just going to bring
behind
it
the
down
scenes.
and back over to the picture. There we go. Now it looks better. So
Right.
guys, look at the quality of this. The
Ooh.
textures are amazing.
Feel the quality. That is nice, actually. That scenery, if you look at the rough grassland, is that like a little ditch or something there? Really,
It
really
does look
nice.
like it, yeah.
So this is lovely. Really,
That
really
back
liking
scene is
this.
wonderful as well. The blue tint to make it distant. That is
Ooh.
lovely.
Jennifer Horton says there is a post circulating of a container. Oh, can you just scroll it back up?
Yeah.
There's a post circulating of a container of Hornby stock being broken into and raided, but they haven't posted what was missing. Presumably it contains something not yet released, so easy to spot.
Yeah.
Now that there was some debate earlier on about some Bluetooth decoders being offered on Amazon Marketplace with 3 to 4 day delivery option. People saying, but they haven't been released. So how can
There
they
you
offer
go.
3 to 4 day delivery when it's impossible? So I'm not saying that is the source, but could that be? But I don't know. But surely decoders would come air freight because they're super high value but not very bulky. I don't know. Right, anyway, scroll it down. So
These are great.
nice
What
pictures,
scale
says
is
Timothy
this?
kind of, and this is 00, I believe.
Right.
Ben Tollett says this layout looks really good.
It really does.
Hameldown Model Railway says thanks for showing. Absolutely welcome.
This looks amazing. I'm loving this. The way he's got the textures of the rocks and the moss and trees on top. And again, what you keep saying as well, different tones of grass.
Different textures, different colours.
It looks so good.
So Dongit's Model Railway says alternative suggestions. They are lying about 3 to 4 day delivery. I think that that's probably the reason. But it's interesting now if the container's been broken into. I might have to ask Hornby. They probably will either say no comment or don't know what you're talking about or whatever. But,
oh my goodness!
I will
quality.
ask. I'm curious actually. I wasn't aware of that. I'm curious if anybody's got that picture. Could they forward it to us? I'm really curious to see just for myself. The Aylesmead project says inside job by most likely a gang working where the Hornby product is manufactured. Oh, so this is actually out at the factory. This isn't in the UK.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, I love your little humpback bridge.
Yeah, that is so well.
And those are the
and
seafoam
water
trees.
effects. This is so good. This is so good.
I do love this. I'm a firm advocate of the seafoam trees. Really easy to make. I did do a great video. I call it great. Like, oh, modest as well. But no, I did do a video on making the seafoam trees. So easy to do. Oh, little. It looks like a Ford.
grass and stuff as it got.
I love the tractor. Look at the weathering on the tractor.
Yeah,
that's
a tractor that's seen some work. This is so well done. This is incredible.
I love that. That is such a nice little scene with the gravel road.
Yeah.
And it's why I love this section of the program, because you get some great
so
ideas there of what you can do with your own layout. I mean, like, just the greens, very vibrant, but there's a lot of different textures, different colours. Hemel Down Model Railway says made from plaster and cat litter, that bridge. And it just goes to show you don't need expensive materials to get some great materials. Ian Parker says best place to get seafoam trees. I've bought them through. You can buy big boxes, like bumper-sized boxes of seafoam. Gauge Masters sell it. I've got some through Rails before now. Hattons. Really easy to get. War World Scenics also sell.
Yeah, it's not just one manufacturer. You've got all
I really
kinds of
enjoyed
options.
that. Really liked that.
So good.
But certainly, is there a? I think we've got a derailment. Hold on one moment.
Okay, what we've got coming up next, you're going to love what we see here. So this is Malcolm Moore, and what he's written is, if you're not bored with my layout, how could we be bored with your layout?
Never get bored about
Never
people's
bored.
layouts. There's always something new to see.
The depressing thing is a video of my cat playing with a stick has twice as many views. Yes, because that's because the internet loves cats.
The internet loves cats. Absolutely. We should have put up videos of Fred back in the day. Sadly missed.
To be honest with you, there are some videos. They're on my vlog.
Ben
I
Tellett.
keep looking at them every now and again.
Oh, Ben Tellett says, "Nah, that tractor is barely run in. A well-weathered tractor of that age in the modern era is either rust-coloured or pristine after being
So
absolutely."
This is
an American one.
One, and I love the American stuff. There's just something about the size and the shape and the feel of power of American layouts.
Oh, actually, that's not an American layout. It's an American loco.
Yeah.
But that's
Look at it. It's a
I do.
huge thing.
One of my favourite US liveries, the Union Pacific. That classic yellow, dark grey with the red lettering.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite liveries of any US railroad.
That's an interesting design of tree. Is that wire?
I suspect it's a wire core that's then had like plaster put over the top. And again, look in the background, some lovely detail.
Yes.
The clutter, the bits and pieces. Jennifer Horton says, sent you the screenshots on Messenger for later.
Thanks.
Thanks very much. James Pett
Look
says,
at the flowers and everything. Oh,
really well
lovely.
done.
That was so good.
So,
thank you.
Thank you so much. Just check that.
I am. I'm bringing the thing in to check. Don't worry.
I know.
Here we are.
We're going to have to. They seem to be working again now, touch wood.
Yes.
Touch wood. Anoya Orita says, Union Pacific SP9 diesel loco.
Excellent.
Ian Parker says, cost of living crisis, cats, dogs, family pets being abandoned. Oh no.
Bring them here. I'll give them a cuddle.
Any dogs on Weir Yard? Actually, yes, there is.
Oh.
There's one there. There is a dog.
There's a little dog next to Gene Hunt.
Yeah, no, he's not Gene Hunt. He's the Scrappy.
I thought he was Gene Hunt. That's why we had a Cortina there most of the time.
No, that's not. No, well, that's a Mark 1 Cort. No, that's not a Mark 1 Cortina.
Isn't this the Mark 1 Cortina?
No, for some reason, Gene Hunt's Cortina's not.
Where's
out.
Rockford's car?
We haven't got.
We need to have
Yes.
Rockford.
Anybody know where we can get a HO Pontiac Trans Am Firebird to match the?
No, we don't want a Trans Am Firebird. We want a Pontiac Firebird.
Yeah.
The 1976 one. That's
Yeah,
the one Rockford uses.
the Rockford one. And we need his trailer as well somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to make... This is going to be part of my American diorama. It's not going to be fully like real life, because let's face it, it didn't exist in real life.
But you got to also it's got to be like stuff's getting real. We'll have the Mystery Machine. We'll have the Ghostbusters car. We'll also have Knight Rider, and the A-Team van,
And the 1967 Chevy Impala in black.
black.
You don't know what that is, do you? That's Baby from Supernatural. if Baby is in town, you know that the Winchesters are coming to shoot some ghosts.
You also need the Oldsmobile from Evil Dead.
Yes, we need all of the cool cars. So next up we have
And
SJ
Gene Hunt's Cortina.
Absolutely, he's turned up to kick in a. Well,
Yeah.
we can't say what.
Yeah, kick in a suspect.
SJ
to
Dusty.
beat a confession. Oh, and a DeLorean.
SJ Dusty has sent in a message saying, "One for you, Zoe, if you can show it if you like. This is my second white metal kit from P&D Marsh."
Ooh. And
This will be
Katie
interesting.
Walker says, Evil Michael Knightstruck. That was Goliath.
Oh yes, Goliath.
Goliath.
With
Are
Garth.
you ready? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Garth Knight.
Party on, Wayne. Wrong
Party on,
Garth.
Garth.
Wrong Garth. Oh, hold on. Can you hear a flopping of
Oh my
clown
goodness.
shoes?
Metal.
Can you hear that floppy noise? They're coming back through. The trouble with clowns is that actually they don't have enough room to have a map in that car.
So what's going on here? Is he
Right.
soldering it?
That is interesting because white metal actually melts at a very, very low temperature. So that's flux and a soldering iron, and I'm guessing, yeah, it must be using, yeah, that big block at the top is 100-degree melting point solder. But
That
you've
is
got to be
interesting.
so careful when you solder white metal because the soldering iron will melt white metal,
Yeah, that's why he's only tapping it. This is interesting.
and that's why you need the flux.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
my goodness.
Ham Shackleton wants a Beverly Hillbillies truck.
I'm going to jump this on a bit so we get a bit more progress.
Mind your head, Grandma.
Oh, I just saw the thumbnail there. Oh, come on. There
Holly,
it is.
Holly Ruston says, I need a 1-76 Mark V Cortina for Thorn North. Come on, Oxford Diecast, pull your collective fingers out. Is that the Mark V, is that the final Cortina from the early 80s? And Charlie Chimpas, I must admit, we missed... Call me Snake.
If you're modelling TV-related vehicles, Airwolf.
Yeah.
Yes, Airwolf being
Yeah.
in it as well.
But Charlie Chimpas, anyone know what happened to Call Me Snake? I've not seen Call
He's
Me
probably
Snake.
on a mission.
Or on holiday, I don't know.
Use epoxy instead of salt. Well, you could, yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, what about Christine, the car that wouldn't die? Or what about the car?
I'm going to move this on again.
Oh,
I wanna see a bit more
SJ
progress.
Dusty says it's 75 degrees solder.
Right.
Katie Walker says white metal soldering not that difficult with a temperature controlled soldering iron.
This looks amazing. It's taken a while, but it looks so good.
And it'll be very, very strong.
Well,
Although
it expects
Raymond
it,
Lex says, oh, use epoxy instead of solder. I've seen a lot of white metal kit just glued together. Ben Tullett says, I have Gene Hunt's Cortina as Oxford Diecast produced it. Yes.
Cool.
The Swedish Ford Consul, not a Granada, and one of the Capris from the Professionals. Yes, I've seen them. Hot Dog Pilot 63, Herbie. I've seen that as well. Katie Walker says, I use a soldering iron and a low temp solder to put white metal wargame figures onto coins as bases. And David Scott's like, yes, Mark V, yes, superseded by the Sierra. And Christine Kirk says, Auntie Jenny, please share your 9-volt battery tip. I can't claim credit for it. Iron Horse Railway, who was the guy I was there with, he brought a 9-volt battery, and it's a great way when you're at a model rail show to test locomotives at stalls. Because if you bridge the 9-volt battery terminals across the pickup wheels of a locomotive, then you can see if it runs, how well it runs, and it's just a great way of testing stuff on the fly at an exhibition. I wish I could say it was my tip, but I'm using somebody else's tip. But certainly, I should probably have like a top 10 tips video or something.
Yeah, do a good tips for that. Was brilliant. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
sending
sir.
that in.
That was actually very informative because I wouldn't have thought you could solder white metal, but I stand corrected.
Yes.
Ralph Giles says, good evening, Jenny. Enjoying as always. Perhaps an evening with Engage. Keep up the good work. You're absolutely welcome. And
We will be
welcome.
doing an evening with Engage at one point when we've actually
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a decent sized
Yeah.
Engage layout.
And Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath suggests a tanker truck from Jewel. And Janie B suggests a 68 Ford Mustang as of Paul Newman's in Bullet. Flymo Chairman 1 does also point out, don't put your tongue across a 9-volt battery.
Yeah,
of course,
don't. Oh,
should
my
go
goodness.
without saying, but it'll give you a bit of a jolt.
Yeah, you'll never taste again.
Also, it's probably as well to have a little, like a plastic bag to put it in, because if, say, you put it in your pocket with coins or with some keys, you could end up shorting it out, and then it would overheat and could actually burst. So,
so just keep it in a bag. So next up we have just a photo from Edward Elric, who says he's added trees to his layout. So let's have a look at this.
Narrow gauge. This I like this one.
Yes.
The double fairly. 009.
Those trees look amazing.
They are nice. So we're going to zoom in and move up and have a look. Those are very effective. They're quite simple, but effective trees for doing, especially things like forestry commission.
Yeah.
Really nice. And there are some other details here, actually, we should scroll around for. Like the wall there.
That is so good.
Made out of old sleepers. Look, it's got the base plates.
Yeah.
So you can see they're old railway sleepers. The static grass along in front of it, really nicely
so
done.
well done.
And there's the double fairly. I don't know whether it's Merthin Emrys or David Lloyd George. And it looks to be a prince or a princess in the background. And we've got the bug boxes. Really nice.
Here. The little bit of,
the moss on the dry stone wall. And Valley's 56XX points out it was a Shelby Mustang in Bullet.
So thank you for sending that in. That is so well done.
Absolutely.
I like that. Thank you.
Ben Tullett says, I would love a 1/76 scale Shelby Mustang like Eleanor off Gone in 60 Seconds. Leslie Gilpin Railway says, a 9-volt battery useful when buying N-gauge, as often there's no N-gauge layout at the show that you can ask to test things. And of course, you could use the 9-volt battery to test an awful lot of scales, anywhere up to probably P4. Holly Ruston says, top tip, if you're doing anything other than plug and play with model railways, pay out about 100 quid and get a second-hand fluke meter. Cheap multimeters are cheap for a reason. Buy decent, buy once.
Yes.
That is, absolutely.
That's true of a lot of things.
Leslie
put the
Gilpin
money out
Railways
once.
says, I prefer an AC Cobra built at the bus factory. The only problem about the AC Cobra is they tended to have more power than they had control. They were often nicknamed the Widowmakers.
So what we've got here is another one from Lee Holden.
Oh yeah,
It says,
Dodge Charger. Sorry, Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes, Dodge
Diddle-oo-doo-diddle-oo-doo-doo.
which, oh my goodness, the amount of times I would land in a race on Forza Horizon 4. I would attempt to get to one of the community races where a lot of people were gathering by launching my car in while using that as my horn. So
Did you have many people who had this for their car horn?
No. But I would start off a thing, then people would start spinning around and playing their horns because you land in the middle going.
Right. Anyway, I'm mindful. We've got a lot of videos and pictures to get
through.
through.
This is from Lee Holden. He says the new Rapido trains UK Hunslet on Lower House Junction Model Railway. So this should be very interesting.
And just a quick, Harry Sedgwick says it's Livingston Thompson displayed at National Railway Museum, York. Yeah, the one thing that really annoyed me was that they did Livingston Thompson, I think it was as the Collectors Club Special Edition, and it was like they did two versions of Merthin Emrys in the main range, but once you bought one, it's like I want a different one. Katie Walker says Fast and Furious races, a cameo maybe.
Oh, the Fast and Furious. I have a few of those films on Blu-ray. The funniest thing is the first one is a film about them trying to steal some VCRs, and then one of the later ones they're dropping a car out of an aircraft on a parachute so they can go to a race. It's like, what happened to this franchise? It's hilarious. This is a really nice massive layout.
Absolutely, a lot of space here, a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But these locos, I quite liked it. There's a few issues flagged up with pickups some people have had because of the method of the pickups. There's nothing to really adjust. But I really like the one that I reviewed. Really great all-round models. Certainly a lot of great detail in it, a lot of weight, and some really nice attention to detail, including the way that the coal in the bunker dips. to actually represent where the fireman's been shoveling it out in the cab.
I'm loving these buildings. They've got a nice wooden front of the building. I love that. And that's, what is it? Some kind of stately home or something?
They better know that's a
big
factory.
Oh, is it? Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, that is
That is
nice.
nice.
Ooh, it's nice.
I approve. It's good.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
hold
yes,
on,
yes.
Crowns are back.
I am going to take that soundboard off you. I programmed it for you to use for good, not for evil.
There's a tumble of clowns just past through. Oh, with a couple of stragglers. Oh, and one more.
Oh my goodness. This is really nice.
Leslie Gilpin says Jags for the baddies in the Sweeney, Granadas for the flying squad. You know, the reason that the baddies always had Jags was because they generally get really badly bashed up. And at the time, old Jags were like rock boxes. The TV production company could pick them up for peanuts.
Wow.
Holly Ruston says, if you like a chuckle, have a look on YouTube for videos of the military chucking vehicles out the back of Hercules aircraft. Hilarious when it goes wrong. Yeah, I've seen one where there was a JCB, and when it landed going sideways too fast, and the JCB broke free. And I've never seen a JCB doing about 80 miles an hour before. Didn't like it. Must have really killed the transmission. You can get Morse's Jag. I've got Morse's Jag. And I've also got an Italian Job Mini. And
Nice.
Katie Walker says, I double declutch my car as I got into the habit of doing so with my old car. I find it very hard to double declutch with a Synchromesh box. It really doesn't feel right on your foot. But old trucks...
That was wonderful. Thank you for sending that in.
I would always double declutch with old trucks going down the box because it meant that you were less likely to have a crunch or have a gear that would fight back. But going up the box, you didn't need to double declutch.
So next up we have from Enwin's Models, a video of the layouts at Alton from last weekend.
Another show.
So if I can just get this set up.
J. Paul Anderson says, my father once borrowed a Cobra from a Danish baron. He drove it at 100 miles per hour in fog through inner city Copenhagen. My mother wet herself. I can imagine. ASP383 says, I'm not allowed to watch the Fast and Furious films as I point out all the BS in them. Ah, yes.
But that's the fun. It's not real. It's a fantasy.
I have to say, I occasionally have to watch a film and say to Zoe, can we turn the Zoe commentary track off, please?
I'm sorry.
Big hello to Gwion as
that
well.
is
Great to
amazing.
see you in. This is a lovely layout. Again, the trees. Look at those trees. Really, really nice. And those retaining walls too.
Yeah.
Nicely weathered so that they look grimy. We've also got the cable trunking there. You can see London Underground style around that curve. This appears to be a Great Western themed railway. We've got the very, very characteristic parachute water tanks. And then the station over the road bridge. Always a great look.
Yes.
And Man in Middle.
I like that name.
I do love a good jokey name.
Hello to JD1533 Workshop from Queens,
The
NYC.
Monday Clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks,
Gandalf. It was great to see you, and I hope I find you well. Welcome to the stream. This is a nice one.
Yeah.
I like those trees on the left. Very tall. They're almost like palm trees. Really nice. And this looks to be... Is this Isle of... Oh, it's Isle of Man, so they could be palm trees, I guess.
Oh, wow.
So this is an Isle of Man steam railway. I do love that green livery. Now, I wonder how long it is before manufacturers start to think about doing a 0012 using TT track to represent Isle of Man prototypes. Now, there were a few other 3-foot gauge railways in the UK, but it's a huge untapped market.
So TT could be used for more than just TT 120.
Well, the track you could use. I mean, you could use HOM track. Bedrock_dash says, hello, how do I show my layout? I forgot how to.
Send a URL to zoe.robinson@gmail.com with your subject title Monday Club.
Egg Rider says, I think Man in Middle is loosely based on Isle of Man. Harry Sedgwick, 009. Can I just say, that looks to be either dual gauge there. Look. Dual gauge.
Nice.
I'm liking that. Some nice narrow gauge stuff here. Narrow gauge is definitely getting more and more popular. And I always enjoy seeing them at exhibitions, because there's so much potential that you can do with narrow gauge models. Ben Tullett says Oxford Rail already produced a die-cast model of one of the Isle of Man locos. The only problem is it's not motorised though.
That looks lovely.
That is lovely. Look at the textures and colours and the grass. Really, really nice.
I like the...
Is this an O gauge?
I'm not sure. It could be. I like the texturing on the ground, just at the bottom
No,
of that hill.
it's double O. Look at the couplings, but that's nice. That crane is nice as well.
I like the garage with all its little metal plates on.
Absolutely.
Arcadia, Pennsylvania.
So American layout.
Excellent. I do like the look of that stuff.
It's a big Kenworth truck.
The plate on the wall has a load of rust on it, because you never see them in great condition, do you?
Some lovely liveries. That ATSF. Was it the something Toledo and Santa Fe?
It's much more. Hello and welcome. Hi.
Hello to you, Gwyn and Rhys Davies. Great to see you as well. So I think Branch Lines makes a chassis that can be used on the Isle of Man locos.
Cool.
It's much more because there's a few people arriving late. Nothing gets past him.
He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Thanks.
So it's much more. I actually saw you on yesterday and decided to look you up. That's why he's here. So thank you very much for coming along.
It's great to see you, and I hope you're enjoying the stream.
Look at the quarrying underneath the railway. That is so interesting.
This looks like a Swiss or an Austrian outline.
Yeah, it looks like all those rocks. That's great.
I'm going to say Swiss. Yeah, look at the flags. Swiss. And Switzerland.
I love that. That is so good.
And look, it stops. That was quite an emergency stop there. I think anybody who wasn't strapped in are currently be peeling themselves off the windscreen. But that is really nice.
That is good. I love that. When I get my N-gauge layout set up, I am going to have moving vehicles.
Raymond Lake says now it's Burlington, Northern Santa Fe, but Bluegrass Railfan says Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe. As the Ham Shackleton. Thanks so much for...
It is Swiss. Look at the flags.
Yeah. Oh,
that is so cool.
And you drive it. It's like, man, that guy's got a lead boots on.
This one, SHWT. Shoot. I love it. Those poor passengers have
sweet. Sweet.
This is it.
Iron Horse Railway says we've got a road system too. Yeah, I like those Provinder stores. You can get them as a ratio kit. They're really good. But I like this sort of wild open wilderness look of this.
Holly Russian says that driver does our local run. I've been on a few buses driven like that.
Yeah.
Iron Horse, don't worry, we will be documenting the progress on the layout.
Absolutely.
Jenny's going to be teaching me how to do all the various things.
Yeah, Bluegrass Railfan says it's a reboot of the movie Speed. I think some of them it's like what's the matter? Is your lunch getting cold at the depot?
Yes.
Like Otto the bus driver.
A Simpsons themed layout. If you got a load of
you paint all the figures yellow.
Well, not just paint the figures, but if you this is something that I've been thinking about.
Oh, look at! Can I just say the rough ground in the foreground? I really love that. That is nice.
This is something I've been seriously thinking about. All these older things that people aren't wanting anymore. The various old locos, the ones that aren't that great, aren't that detailed. Paint them up in a cell shaded style.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's a cartoon. You could do a Simpsons themed layout.
This is really nice. Is that a class? It's either a class 21 or a 22, I think. But certainly that is nice. I love that rough ground in the foreground. That is really nice. And look at the big pile of sand.
Yeah.
Launceston Steam Railway. So you often at shows get.
This is 18 minutes, so we're not going to be showing the whole thing.
Oh, look at that. And look at the flowers. That's the same technique I use with static grass. Look at the texture, the colours. That looks wonderful. And
amazing. And it's got
that is lovely.
It's got that English summer look where it kind of looks like it's slightly muted because the light in the UK is usually filtered through clouds.
But that is really nice. And if you look, there's a great mix of different species of trees, just like you get. Oh! Now that is so wonderful. Good. I love a good vegetable garden like that. They look great in model form.
Yes.
And Katie Walker says, though, you need a monorail through a Simpsons layout.
Yeah, but just imagine that.
Yeah.
I think little ideas like that, I love the idea.
Yeah. This is a really nice layout. I like this.
I could draw lots on the background.
And can I just say, another interesting thing here, your view is forced through the trees in the foreground. And look at the effect. That is really, really good.
Yeah, because sometimes in real life you can't get an angle to see clear. But that back scene is amazing as well.
And look at the moss on the roof of the engine shed. No, that works really well.
So much going on here.
I like the that'd be a maple tree or something. So yeah, the trees along the baseboard edge. Good. That is actually a really good idea. I've not really seen that much before, but you see that the embankment then comes up towards the viewing side with the trees. That really is nice, though.
Anyone made the Deadpool kit steam locos up as loads being hauled to the scrapyard? Considering that as a train, I'm like, yeah, why not? They don't have to move.
The only thing I'd say about them is that their rolling is a little bit flaky
but
at times.
But they're being hauled.
Yeah, no, but the wheels got to still go round.
Not necessarily.
Well, yeah, otherwise they'd be skidding all the way. Flint Hills Model Railway, Jeff Hammond says, great camera work.
Yeah, this is so well done. Right, guys, we've got 4 minutes left, so I'm going to jump back to the main thing so that Jen could do a sign-up. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Enmans, for sending that in.
Do we have we got much left? What have we actually got left?
We've got a fair amount left.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's a Piggly Wiggly? The Piggly Wiggly
5.
Oh, I don't think we can play the Piggly Wiggly jingle, but I will enjoy that after the stream.
Yes. Thank you, Dave Baker, for sending in the Piggly Wiggly jingle.
Jennifer Horton says that's a model of the Launceston Steam Railway. It's a real prototype. That is nice.
Nice.
ASP
thank you so much for sending those in.
383 says answering somebody else's question. Timothy Kiner says nice layout. It's much more, says indeed, Flymer Chairman 1. I moved to Nottingham and the one also closed in Nottingham Broadmarsh Shopping Centre. I think, model shops, I think they might be talking about. Certainly
this is what we keep saying at the moment. Support your local model shop. Because when it's gone, it's not coming back.
McCarville Studios, great to see you. Hope I find you well.
Me, I've got to pop down to our local one, Nuffy's models tomorrow. Need some more rocket glue.
Yeah.
So, I think we have one more thing to ask. Jenny, do we have a sponsor for today?
We do, yes. So, going to bring that up. The Monday Club comes in association with Roca Prototype Models, where detail, accuracy and value for money go hand in hand. With their debut model of SafePack auto racks wowing model railroaders alike, now is your chance to order these in road names and configurations to accurately reproduce auto rack workings from 1974 to the present day on your model railroad. Order today from rocamodels.com and see the full range for yourself. A Bluegrass Rail fan says, write an email to Piggly Wiggly, and see if we can get a sponsorship for the stream. Jingle problem solved.
That would be so good.
I think if we wrote to them and said, would it be alright to use your jingle? Because we're just like, we
just love the...
We're Brits, and it sounds really weird and humorous to it. Almost like a gaggle of clowns passing through.
Oh, for goodness sake, Jen. We can't take you... I am taking that soundboard off you. There's more clowns coming every single time. I'm getting to the
It's a tumble of clowns. So look, anyway, good night to everybody. It's been so great to have you all in. Ralph Davies says good night from South Africa. And certainly, no matter where you are in the world, what time it is for you, it's always great to have your company here on the Monday Club. do tickle that like button and share the stream out to social media. Everybody is invited. This is your model. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, gas from the beverage of choice, Diet Coke. But this is your model railway club, and it's always great to hang out with you. Stay safe, everybody. Happy modelling. Bye for now.
Bye bye. The train now departing is the 2059 service to Mineth Tatis, stopping at Grove Street Yard, Tatis Newith, Bolton Trinity Road. That's an unnamed layout that Jenny recently admitted didn't have a name, even though she claimed it did. Eindhoven, we're not sure why, but we go to Eindhoven, and then on to Grove Street Yard. No, not Grove Street Yard, to Mineth Tatis. Sorry about that. That's the 2059 service to Mineth Tatis. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. I'm trying to do this. Let's sort this out. For every train
That was
there
unexpected.
ever was has gathered there together because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night.
Monday Club for everyone.
So come
Monday
and rock
Club.
your tongue and maybe even say yum yum. And thank you so much, guys, for all your support. We love hanging out with you guys. I'm sorting it out as we go.
That's why we've been having trouble. So, hello everybody. Unexpected here.
Yeah, the scene how the thing works. In order to make sure your camera doesn't accidentally go off, it's on behind all the ones that it just looks like it's just the trains.
All right. So that is why the other camera's not working properly.
What do you mean?
Because you can't show 3 cameras on screen at once.
We're not showing 3 cameras on screen, we're showing 2.
I think John JMC is really keen for you to show the narrow gauge Garrett photo he quickly showed because we were talking about it. Can we quickly bring that up?
So here we go.
So just bringing up, sent in because we were talking about the narrow gauge Garrett. This is
Wow.
being built by John JMC, 3D printed body, and it's sitting on the chassis to 2 Class 08 shunters.
Wow.
They're the great. I bet you've got one of the. Did you by any chance have a Network Southeast liveried either the engine that you pinched the chassis from and then traded it into rails by any chance? Just wondering.
It would explain why they've still got one in stock.
Yes, that would explain why there's a second one as well. But we think we may
That is
have the
amazing.
body to one of your Graham Farris chassis. So thank you so much
This
for sharing
is
that with us.
amazing, the way he's done all this detail.
Oh, I like the idea of that. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says we'll have to have a Gronked update at Peak Rail with the Heritage Shunters Trust. And John JMC says it was either and a DB Rail one. So, yes. John JMC, we believe we may have bought, if you punted them on via rails,
I have your Gronk.
We have that now answers a mystery as to why anybody would remove the chassis from that.
Yeah.
I've got your Gronk.
Take care, everyone. We're going to have to go because I need to get back to bed because I'm working really early tomorrow. But it has been so great to have your company. You guys take great care of yourself. And until next time, happy modelling. Bye for now.